This is major what I'm about to share with you. And it's about me. April the 7th, I made a declaration. I'm a secret. I've been a secret for 76 years. And I said on April the 7th, either I will know the secret or I won't. And I'm leaving it alone. I want to know the secret, but I don't need to know the secret. I wanted to know something about my birth mother, but I didn't need to know. I wanted to know something about my father, but I didn't need to know. Mamie Brown was my mother and father all wrapped in one, but I was just curious. There was no hole in my soul. I didn't feel incomplete. I have not been depressed and worried and stressed out about it. No. And I think I've done well without knowing. But I said, if I had some idea, it would be good. I would just wonder. And here's what sparked my curiosity. Somebody asked me, why would you want to know? Well, I wonder where I got my speaking from. Now, let me fast forward. Are you ready for this? Have a cushion by it to catch your mouth when it drops open. I've always felt whenever I'm in Georgia, always felt a connection here. And there's some things that happen to you, you forget, and then they come back. Something happens and trigger that memory. And so, years ago, 1992, I introduced my book, Live Your Dreams. I was doing a book signing here in Atlanta. And this couple, they stood back and they watched me. They didn't come to the table for me to sign their book. They just stood back and watched me. I spoke to them, they spoke to me. And when the crowd died down, the lady stepped forward. And she said, hold your hand open. I held my hand open, and she put a picture in my hand. And I looked at it. She asked, does that look familiar? I said, yes. This is Wesley and I. This is my twin brother and I. How did you get this? And at that moment, she and the gentleman turned and walked away. And she just looked back and waved. I thought that was strange. I just thought that was different, that Mamie Brown, when we were born, that she, so excited, it was a little small picture. Just passed out little small pictures to everybody. I never thought about it, and I just let it go. But my oldest son, Calvin, he knew that I wanted to know, where did I get my ability to speak? Some things nurture, some things nature. I said, there are things I'm doing that I don't know how I know. And I see them, my children, doing things that I didn't teach them. It's in them. So Calvin, unbeknownst to me, went on 23andMe, started searching, ran to a wall. Then he went to Ancestry. And there's a lady that he ran into on 23andMe. It was a hobby that she had of finding people in 23andMe and Ancestry. And come to think of it, she said, Why are you looking? Well, I'm trying to find my father's parents. What's your father's name? He's Les Brown. Is that right? Yeah. What, do you have any other information? I have an old birth certificate. And he shared the information on the birth certificate before I was adopted. And she said, whoa, I'm your father's first cousin. Excuse me? Yes, I'm your father's. I do this as a hobby, connect adopted kids with their birth parents. I'm your father's first cousin. And that opened up another door. And now this has been going on for a long time. Then here I am in Atlanta, moved to Georgia. Used to do PBS specials to raise money for public television. And a guy who was a producer there, unbeknownst to him and unbeknownst to me, he was a relative of mine. And then we started making calls, trying to pull things together. Come to find out, my birth mother, she was a speaker. You can't make this stuff up. She was a speaker. She was fierce. She spoke all over Georgia. And one guy told me today she could play a piano till it walked. She could play the piano. He said she had just a high energy, electrifying personality, and she could tear a piano up. He said, and she could sing. I said, no. Yes. And guess what? I said, what? Your grandmother, she's a speaker too. She was a speaker. And she raised funds for a school. Is that right? And we just went back and forth. So I saw two pictures. Whew. Cannot be denied. This weekend, I wanted to get in bed with some sweet potato pie or bread pudding or chunky monkey ice cream. The president, I said, this is just too much. When I saw the pictures, I said, oh, I said, be careful what you ask for because you just might get it. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was crying. Tears of gratitude, tears of relief. So now you know what you're going to do with this. What I'm going to do with it? I'm going to raise the bar on myself. My mother was tough, but my grandmother, she's a bad somebody. I'm going to raise funds for her center. Closed. And I got family members here. I know their names. I don't know how you go up in there and share this. So I'm pumping my brakes. But I know I just wanted to give a report that my prayers were answered. I call my son every day and say, thank you. Thank you, Calvin. He went on Ancestry and 23andMe, and he just was relentless. And he broke the code of silence, of the secret. When they sent me some pictures, I said, whoa. For this thing called life. Isn't it fascinating? You know, I feel like Mother Teresa. She said, just when I thought I got a handle on life, the handle broke. Oh my goodness. I mean, who does this at 76? At 76. When I saw this dude's face that looked like mine, I said, whoa. It said he was a shop dresser. He was a ladies' man. Now that explains all those children behind me. The devil is a liar. When I look at my life right now, I just said, God, you ain't right. You ain't right. You didn't wait all this time. You ain't right. I'm sorry. I got to check you on this. You ain't right. Oh my goodness. I was jacked up this weekend. I ordered some of do y'all know Rick? He's a photographer in Atlanta. He fixed the best blueberry and banana pancakes on the planet. You can look at them and your insulin have to be increased and your blood sugar level increases. All right, they're the best. They're small, poor, but they are good. Rick, the photographer. Oh my goodness. I started to have him teach me how to do it. I said, but don't do that. Don't teach me. I just come over every once in a while. And after I take my insulin and fix me a few. I ordered some of Rick's pancakes this past weekend. Yes, I did. And then I went down to Cancer Centers of America to get my checkup. And they said, Mr. Brown, you know what? I said, what? They said, you are a blessed man. I said, why do you say that? Your PSA, which stands for prostate-specific antigen, was 2,400. I don't know what you're doing, but it's 0.0 minus 1. I said, look at God. I say, won't he do it? The nurse practitioner, she was startled. I said, won't he do it? She said, yes, he'll do it, he'll do it. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Can y'all tell I'm happy? Did I tell you I'm happy? 0.0 minus 1. From 2,400. When your PSA that high, you just need to park at the cemetery, just walk on in and just jump in one of the open graves. I'm sorry. Oh, behave. Hello? So I'm a happy camper. I was so happy when I was walking. I was coming out of there. I was a happy camper. Yes, I was. Best news this weekend. Best weekend in my life. He said, you're not going to die from cancer. No. Whatever you're doing, you keep on doing it. As Reverend Ike would say, you can't lose with the stuff I use. Oh boy. I was talking to a friend of mine who's also adopted. And we're having conversations. She's having a rough time. She said, I'm happy for you. But I feel like I was thrown away. I said, no. You were born for greatness. No. If somebody took you in, didn't carry you for 9 months, you were chosen with love. No. We gotta talk, sister, up in here. This thing called life. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. That's all I got to say about that. Yes, if you're happy for me, okay. My twin brother, he's been cool. He said, Leslie, I'm proud of you. When he saw the pictures, he looked at me, looked in the mirror. People handle things differently. So, but he said he's proud of me. That's the second time he said that in 76 years. Proud of what I've done with my life. I'm proud of the fact that I was able to find out who our birth parents were. They're since gone, but we got pictures now. And stories. Some of y'all out there know her, especially those of you who live in Gainesville, Georgia, not Ohio. You know. My mother said my mouth is like a refrigerator, can't hold nothing. I ain't saying no names or nothing. I got relatives in several places. Now I know where they are. But if you're watching, don't worry about me showing up on your doorstep saying, do you know who I am? No. If they allow me to. I'm going to do some things to support the work that my grandmother used to do. She was a tough woman. How do you explain things? The title of my book, You've Got to Be Hungry. People know me by that. You got to be hungry. Tell the disc jockey story. You got to be hungry. The greatness within to win. And they said about my grandmother, she was hungry to learn, hungry to motivate people, adults and kids, and teach them how to read, hungry to do that kind of work, to serve. This explains it. This explains it. I can't help it. I have the can't helps it. I have the can't helps it. That's it. I have the can't helps it. I have the can't helps it. I gotta speak. I gotta motivate you. I gotta encourage you. I gotta inspire you. Why? I got the can't helps it. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. I got the can't helps it. Yeah, that's what's wrong. That's why I can't stop. Yeah. I remember one day I was speaking at this event and I said, when I get fired up, I'll make a paraplegic jump up and run. I did not know that Darryl Stingley, former professional football player, was in his wheelchair in the back of the room. He said, hurry up. I said, oh my God. And we both laughed. Oh boy. Oh. Okay. Oh. Look at God. Look at God. The secret is over. For me. For me. And I didn't allow the secret to define me. Even though I did not know, because of Mamie Brown, God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. Because of Mamie Brown, I'm Mamie's boy. Because of her. Come on now. I had this mindset that I want to do something to help somebody. Help people. Because I'm just like her. Thank you for listening to me. This has been good therapy. Would you put in in the comment section, we're praying for you, Les. This is your time. We're praying for you. Because this is my time. I believe that both my mothers and my grandmother are watching me. And my father watching me. Saying, make us proud, boy. Make us proud. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And yes, sir. I look like him too. He's a handsome dude. As soon as I get permission, I'm going to show his picture. He was a handsome dude. Player from the Himalayas. I want you to think about something that you want very much in your life. Something that's important to you. Something that you have a hunger for. Those of you that know me, have been following me and know my story, you know my story because I've been telling my story. That I was born in an abandoned building in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City with a twin brother. And that's Wesley on the right, that's me on the left, and that's Mrs. Mamie Brown. I always say God took me out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. And that narrative is going to change. Because February 17th, I turned 76. And something happened. I began to look at and reflect on my life. Here's Wesley and I, raised in poverty, starting out from nothing. And I want you to listen to me closely. You have something special. You have seeds of greatness in you. But those seeds will not manifest until you take time for self-reflection, to invest in yourself, to cultivate them so they can grow and expand and manifest itself in your life so that you can live a life of greatness. So Wesley and I, starting out with nothing, two of us there eating sugar cane. Poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City. Wesley and I. And so for the past 52 years, I was telling the story about this lady who she met my birth mother, and they had a moment where she had to determine. Several people came to this place where she was, and she talked to them shortly, and then looked at my godfather, he said, and said, no, that's not the one. But when she met a person named Dorothy Bell Rucker, she told my godfather, this is the one. They talked for a little while, and she handed Wesley and I over to her. Now keep in mind, I said to you, you have seeds of greatness in you. So I never knew my birth mother. But there's something in you and in me. We're the children of the ones that would not die. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We've come over a way that with tears have been watered. We've come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. And so, I want you to follow me. I've never laid eyes on either one of my parents. I wonder, what did my father do? What did he look like? And so this past weekend, I got a chance. That's my father. Oliver Randolph, out of Gainesville, Georgia. They said he was a sharp dresser, handsome guy, ladies' man. Now I know where I got that from. And I wondered. Finally got a picture. Got a chance to see him and talk to some of the other Randolphs. Oliver Randolph. My original name was Calvin Randolph. My twin brother's original name was Alvin Randolph. And then, remember what I said, you have seeds of greatness in you. This is my birth mother. Her name, Dorothy Bell. She was a motivational speaker. You know, they talk about nurture or nature. A motivational speaker. Whoa! It would be criminal for somebody to deny that that's my mother. Ancestry and 23andMe, my son consulted both of those, and that's the match. Both of those. That's my birth mother. They said she could speak, and she had a sense of humor. She was funny. And she could play a piano and play it so good she could make it walk. She played by ear. And she wrote poems. And she was a teacher. And this is my grandmother. That's Dorothy Bell Rucker. And this is Beulah Rucker, her mother, my grandmother. And I read an article. Now, mind you, my book is entitled, my latest book, You Gotta Be Hungry. That's been my whole career, how I became a disc jockey. You gotta be hungry. Those of you who know me, you know me by that. You gotta be hungry. They said that Beulah Rucker was hungry to learn. Hungry to learn, so hungry, she taught herself the alphabets and how to read from newspaper that was used on the wall to keep the cold winter air out in Gainesville, Florida. She was driven, unstoppable. Went to college and had no money. Who does that? Somebody that's hungry to learn. And they asked her for money. She held her hands out and said, "These two hands can work." And the head of the school turned her away. And she came back and said, as she looked at him, "These two hands can work." Now, if somebody tell you, come on, give me a break. Next, you gonna show up again? She was hungry to learn. These two hands can work. This time, he relented. This time, he let her in. This time, he gave her chores to do. She milked cows, and she worked for other teachers and did whatever work that was available for them so she can get an education. And she graduated with honors. And she started a school, only school in Gainesville for Black kids, teaching them a variety of professional skills. And she was so good, the community honored her. She did it for 40 years. And they honored her by turning the school into a museum. And people just go to Gainesville, Georgia to see this place that my grandmother, who was a motivational speaker, who was the force to be reckoned with. Boy, she's quite a woman. Wow. I've been looking at her. I've been looking at her. I've been thinking about her determination, her hunger to learn. She built a house. All she had were nails, a saw, and a hammer. The house still stands. My grandmama was a bad somebody up in here, up in here. She was friends with Eleanor Roosevelt. People believed in her. She was a voice of influence. I had this hunger in me. I don't know where it came from. I thought, and I didn't. This is where it came from. When this woman gave me to this woman. Millions of people's lives changed around the world because this woman gave me to this woman, Mrs. Mamie Brown. Dorothy Bell Rucker. Mrs. Mamie Brown said, "That's the one. That's the one." When she was looking for a way to find a house that I told her that I would buy for her, she said, "That's the one." And Dorothy Bell Rucker said, when she met Mamie Brown, "That's the one I want to give my boys to. That's the one." That statement, "That's the one," has been in my life. If you go on YouTube and you Google Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome, you will hear me use that statement. That's the one. I am the one, sir. I'm the one. Go on, Google it. Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. That's Beulah Rucker's grandson and Dorothy Bell Rucker's son. And Dorothy Bell picked this woman out and said, my God the Father said, she got up in her face and they looked and their nose almost touched. And she backed away just a little bit and said, "Give me my boys, Mr. Moss," and put us in the arms of Mamie Brown. And she asked her, "You promised never to separate my boys?" And she said, "I won't." "You promised to take good care of them?" And she said, "I will." Got real close and looked in Mamie Brown's eyes and looked at Mr. Moss and said, "That's the one." Mamie Brown only had a third-grade education, but my grandmother was educated, and Beulah Rucker, and my mother, Dorothy Bell, was educated and became a teacher. And so Mamie Brown took me through this. Oh, but there was something in me that poverty couldn't contain. Come on, somebody. Something in me that I got from this woman here. And this woman here, and this woman here. Oh my goodness, wow. Look at God. Oh my goodness. Oh. This past weekend has been the happiest day of my life. My brother, George Rucker, I called him and I said, "Sir, my name is Les Brown. Ancestry and 23 and 2, or whatever that is, said that your mother is my mother." He said, "Well, that makes you my brother." He said, people called him and said, "What did you say when Les Brown called you?" He told me that he was Dorothy Bell, which is my mother, our mother, son. I said, "Well, that makes you my brother." And they asked, "That's all?" He said, "Yes." "Didn't you ask how did that happen?" He said, "It didn't matter how it happened. What matters is he's here. And we're going to move forward with love." Let me tell you something. My brother accepted me, arms wide open. My niece Greer, my first cousin Angie, my first cousin, Sweetie Mario Rucker, and her daughter. Boy, man. Boy, you know, I just had no idea. I had no idea. Oh, boy. Had no idea. This is a book. You think? Oh my goodness. Tyrone said, I'll write it. Oh my goodness. I've been processing this. I got in bed and I was eating some Chunky Monkey ice cream for therapy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I had to stop. My blood sugar level went up sky high. Oh my goodness. Oh. Mind-blowing possibilities. Let me share this with you. You remember Mustafa, you are more than that which you have become. The seed in me that I got from my grandmother, from both my mothers and my father. You're more than that which you have become. And it's been driving me, and I did not know why. Even when periods of my life, I was temporarily insane. And who says I'm all the way here now? Talking to squirrels. Oh boy. I'm so grateful. I can't wait to meet the rest of the Ruckers and the Randolphs. I'm going to Gainesville tomorrow. My children say, we want to go with you. Well, you better get here. They coming. I don't know when they coming down. I wasn't coming out the house. But for my family, the Ruckers and the Randolphs and Gainesville, I got to go down and see my peeps. And I don't put anything off. No. I'm not going to be waiting 2 or 3 weeks. No. I got to see my peeps. I'm going to go to the museum. I'm going to meet with the Randolphs and the rest of the Ruckers. And I come bearing gifts. Oh boy. I told him, I said, I don't want anything from you. I just want to know. My brothers, I got 2 brothers. One Rudy and the other one, George Rucker. Boy, look at God. He just, I'm 76. You know how long I've been waiting on this? 76. I'm 76. I used to think people in their 40s were old. Now I feel like I've been shining shoes at the Lord's Supper or waiting tables. Where's that Randolph boy? He's around here somewhere. Tell him Jesus wants some more wine. He needs some more wine. He's going to turn it into water, but he needs a little sip of it first to make sure it's good. Come on, man. You got issues. What a mighty God we serve. All these years, something was driving me. Something I got from 3 people. Oh boy. I'm so thankful. I thank those of you who've been praying for me. Don't stop. Those prayers are working and they are needed. I need prayer. Okay, I need it. You know I do. You know I need it. You know I do. Oh boy. So now I'm Amy Brown's baby boy. And I am I got another closing now. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, and this has been Dorothy Bell's oldest boy, and Beulah Rucker's pride and joy. Come on, I got it. I'm doing it. Yes. I got a new closing. Come on now. Come on. You can't make this stuff up. Oh boy. You can't make anybody want to know how I got here. Luther Barnes, God's grace. Don't make me sing for you. Oh, you can't listen to me while you're driving. You'll faint. You'll close your eyes and call it. Oh boy. Boy, if God doesn't do anything else for me, He's done enough. He's done enough. If He doesn't do anything else for me, He's done enough. Thank you, Lord. And if you decide to do anything else, move the cancer from my prostate to my ankle, because I don't need 2 ankles, or my elbow. I don't need 2 elbows either. In fact, I don't even need 2 knees. Just take one of my knees. Or just move it there. Move the cancer there, okay? No, he didn't go there. He's got issues. You know, they said Dorothy Bell was funny. She could have been a comedian. My mother could have been a comedian. And a great motivational speaker she was. Could tear a piano up. I just want to share this with you. It's just on my heart. Tears of gratitude. Lord, if you don't do anything else for me, you've done enough. You've done enough. And I thank you. I thank you. I thank you.
Poland earlier last year, and I had a chance to meet a young man who'd never seen me in person, but he heard my voice. He was going through some tough times. He'd lost his mother, and he decided to bring me to Poland. He heard my voice, and it changed his life at a time that he was struggling, dealing with the passing of his mother, and he just lost connection with himself. And I just thought about what an honor it was to be able to reach him. And one of the things, as I reflect on my life, I believe that we're all here for a reason, and we're all here for a purpose. As a 17-year cancer conqueror, I know that I have been given grace so that I can do something amazing with my life. I want to thank you for your support, for your prayers. And you have a voice. You have a story. And I say that it's on you to do something with your voice. It's on you to take responsibility, to use your story to change people's lives. And there are people around the world who are waiting to hear you. I'm reminded of something Dr. Howard Thurman, who was a mentor to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Albert Schweitzer and Mahatma Gandhi. He said, there's something in each and every one of you that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only guide and voice you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life, your days will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. And I say to you that the reason that you're listening to me right now is that you've decided that you have a voice, that you have a story. There's something that you want to do with your voice and your story and your life. You have a dream to pull your own strings, to control your own destiny. You know, Helen Keller said life is either a daring adventure or it's boring. And you've decided, I want to make my life a daring adventure. And I identify with you. And so this is my celebration of this year. You've gone through what I have gone through over the years. You're glad. A lot of people don't want to say how old they are. But let me tell you something. It's good to be 69. Let me tell you something. Every day above ground is a good day. Believe me. If you don't believe me, just try this and one. So I like to leave this with you. You have a voice and you have a story.